In today's episode, we'll talk about the elements of storytelling and how they affect your listener's brain. Dopamine. Dopamine effects are focus, motivation, and remembering things better. And this can be achieved during while telling a story. But you want to make sure that when you're telling a story, you're building a suspense and you're launching it on a cliffhanger. What that allows is when you're telling a story, and as you tell the story, and there is a lot of elements that you're adding to create a suspense and launching a cliffhanger, that creates a lot of processes in a listener's brain to create situations. And then that will increase their focus and remembering things better as you're providing more visual elements as you're telling the story. So that alone achieves the goal of creating dopamine in your listener's brain. Storytelling, by definition, is a dopamine creative process because you're always expecting and waiting. The next element on the list is oxytocin. Oxytocin effects are the most beautiful effects, which are feel more generous, trust more, and then you bond. And then when telling a story, you want to create an empathy for the character. And this can be anything. You can look back and think about the times that you told a story to somebody and then you made them feel very empathetic. And that could be your example of using that specific story to induce the feeling of empathy. If you have any stories with your dad about, playing a catch or the conversation that you guys had as you were playing a catch, if you have any stories about anything important that happened between you and your mom and you guys sort of like talked about the feeling or some struggle and then you worked and made through, right? So you're also adding a lot of elements of like overcoming certain aspects of your life. It can be stories about your relationship with your grandparents. That being said, this will help you a lot in terms of functional storytelling, which we're going to talk about this later on. But ultimately, if you wanted to induce the feeling of more generosity and your audience trusting you more and bonding, then you want to release these elements. And I would like to make this point is that all these feelings, they are a natural and the most beautiful feeling. And that's mainly because these feelings are unique to us as species, as humans. And that's what makes us feel like human as well. So the good news is from all the research that we have done at Not Suited, we decided and we concluded that we are all storytellers in a way. So whenever you have a story that like you made somebody feel super excited, they were intensely concentrated in your story, or you made them laugh, write them down and then you index them. So this goes into the point about functional storytelling. By that, we mean that when you're in a social gathering and you want to use the situation to demonstrate your personality and you want people to like you more, you want people to bond to you. So then you want to use these elements of functional storytelling and then use one of these index stories that you've already written down and you have all the elements and then you remember them better. Ultimately, you can pick a story like the ones make people laugh to release endorphins, empathy to release oxytocin, and you will be able to induce the desired effect. Storytelling is how we transfer knowledge through generations. And just generally, it's an amazing experience when you're with somebody and then they're paying an undivided attention to your story. And once you're done telling a story, they just look back at you and they say, wow. Thank you so much again for another episode of Not Suited, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.